Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Healthcare Professionals Opportunity webinar tonight. I really want to acknowledge everybody for taking the time out tonight to come on to this webinar with us. And for those of you who don't know who I am Dr. Michelle Dickey, and I'm a chiropractor, and this is my family here that you see on the screen. And what you're really seeing here is, what does your dream life look like? And that's really what this webinar is all about, is taking the time to really think about, what does your perfect day really look like? And I know that myself, over the last many years, I've had a chance to really look at, what is that perfect day? Not the perfect day where you're off on that amazing trip and you're on an island or a beach, but what's that perfect everyday to you? Is it, waking up with your family? Is it serving people? Is it making a difference in the world? What really is it? And that's what this webinar is really all about. It's about creating something that you can have your every perfect day. And so I personally have been in practice now for 14 years, and I have bought and sold or started 4 different clinics in my time. And about 4 years ago, I really felt kind of burnt out. I felt overwhelmed, and I felt like, what direction really was I going? Did I have an exit strategy really from practice? What if I couldn't get to work one day? How was I going to be able to manage working evenings, which is when my patients needed to come in, and being with my family? And it was really at that point in time where I started really looking at, what other options did I have? What other opportunities were really out there that I could really incorporate into my life that I had? And really, when I looked at different things, I thought about, okay, what do I do now, and what could I do in the future? And some of the things that I had done in the past were, I carried supplements. So many people on this call probably do that in their office. So they carry supplements, whether it's Douglas Labs, Metagenics, Royal, all the different supplements that we can carry. I did workshops in my office, so I ran different things. I had weight loss programs in my clinic. I've had associates in the past where maybe there were other chiropractors, other healthcare professionals, and I've also had different partners in different clinics that I've had that were either healthcare professionals or not healthcare professionals. And they all helped to create an income in my practice, but it was still really not fulfilling. It was really still not what I was looking for. And so 4 years ago, when I started looking around, I was really looking for 3 key things. And those 3 things were an opportunity that would create a passive income. And so for that, a passive income is really where you're creating an income even though you are not physically doing the work at the time. And that's really attractive to me, and I think to most healthcare professionals that are on this webinar, because as we all know, if we're not in our practice practicing, whether it's chiropractic, physiotherapy, massage therapy, physiotherapy, I know we have an OT on the webinar, that we're not getting paid. And so for me, having something that created a passive income where I could take a vacation or I could be with my family and still making an income was really important to me. The second thing that was important was creating a legacy. So, family is important to me, and I wanted to create something where, I have something at the end of my time, something where I can pass this on to my children, something where I can really make a difference in a lot of people's lives. And the third thing that I was looking for is to serve thousands of people. And I think we can all relate to this, is we can only see a certain amount of people every day. I mean, it depends on our hours, how many people we can see per hour, how much we can leverage in our office, but we can really only see a certain amount of people. And it's really my mission to help thousands of people achieve optimal health. And I realized I needed to do this outside of my clinic walls. And that's when I started researching things. Those were the things I was looking for. And that's when I really found Isagenix. And Isogenics really fit into this because of a couple key things. One is that it is a passive income. Over the last 4 years that I've been with Isogenics, I've been able to create a 6-figure residual income, and that's on top of my chiropractic practice. And that money is coming in whether I'm on vacation, doing chiropractic, or being with my family, and that's really important. The second thing that Isogenics has that's so amazing is it is a legacy. So what that means is this company allows you to will your business center to your children. And so when I'm making $1 million a year with Isogenics, my children, my 4 children, are going to inherit, $250,000 each per year. And when I look at that, I think, what an amazing life insurance policy, what an amazing legacy that I can give my kids and their kids, and really my family, to be able to be great people that contribute to society. And so it is that legacy. The third thing it had is that I could serve thousands of people. And what's really amazing is over the last 4 years, we've helped about 145 people personally get started with Isogenics, but we have over 6,000 people in our organization. And what that means is that I've directly or indirectly helped over 6,000 people achieve greater health or wealth in such a short period of time. And I just think, how amazing this is going to be, and just how many more people's lives we can affect. So it met that next important part, is it did allow me to serve many people outside my clinic wall. The fourth thing that's really near and dear to my heart is time freedom. And here's my family. Here's my husband, Alistair, and our 4 kids, Simon, Matthew, Shannon, and Ian. And, this year we were able to take some great trips with our family. And you can see here we are in San Diego. And to me, that's, worth all of what we do day in and day out with Isogenics, is being able to have these amazing, amazing opportunities with our family to have time freedom. And I know that we all know how hard it is to take a vacation. We take time off work, we still have to pay staff, our overhead, maybe an associate, a locum, all these sorts of things, and it kind of costs us money actually to go on vacation. And so it's amazing that we've been able to take more time off work in order to enjoy time with the family, because we've had this passive income come in. And the fifth thing is it has amazing products. And there's amazing science behind them, and they work, and that's what's so exciting. And at the beginning, I started using the products, and I really enjoyed how they were for me, and I shared them with 3 of the people in my network. And the first person I shared it with was a personal trainer, a great friend of mine who I've really known for many years and has taken this business to her clients. I also shared it with a nutritionist who found this as a really easy way to incorporate nutrition into her practice. And the third person I introduced it to was one of my near and dear best friends, who's an amazing chiropractor herself, and that is Dr. Renata Beyondich.
Thanks, Michelle. Still every time I hear your intro, I just love it. For those of you who know me, I am Renata Beyondich. For those of you who don't, this is me. I'm a chiropractor as well. And Michelle is obviously one of my good friends and colleagues that I went to chiropractic school. So I've known her for, I don't even know if it's been almost 20 years or so forth. And she, our story is how we got started, is a little bit different. Michelle did approach us with this opportunity. And at that time, I remember, we just had our 3rd child. I think she was 1 year old or just under 2. So life was pretty hectic for us. And we were practicing. My husband's a chiropractor as well. And we were running 2 practices, 3 little kids. We still had family life, and we're very close with our parents, the grandparents, a lot of terminal illnesses at that time. And I remember Michelle approaching us with the opportunity of Isogenics. And, my first reaction was, oh my gosh, Michelle, don't even talk to me about another business. I have my hands full with my business right now and my life. And And frankly, the thing that probably initially intrigued us the most at the beginning anyways was actually the products and the product quality. And once we kind of went through that and the uncompromised product quality, we have pretty high standards. My husband's also a high-end sports nutritionist with respect to elite and professional athletes, and my sister's a naturopath, so I had a lot of nutritional background and knowledge and experience. That was a must for us personally, and even before we can even introduce or think of introducing this to any of our clientele or family, etc. But I'd like to show you a picture. This is my family. This is Paul, Dr. Paul, and these are our 3 kids. This is Victoria, 4 years old, Robert, 6, and Philip, 8. So obviously, when we graduated from school, I didn't have any children at that time, and my priority was my profession. And as I'm sure many of you on the call, might have your own families, and you can see that sometimes it is a challenge because we obviously have children and families to spend time with and to grow with and learn with. We love our professions and we love serving people, but sometimes it can be tricky to find that balance between family life and between our practices. So it was really quite interesting how we started incorporating isogenics. We personally started using it, and it just naturally flourished from there. People were asking what we're doing, our athletes were asking, patients were asking, and we started earning income weekly. And that's when I was ready to actually sit down with Michelle and say, okay, Michelle, I'm ready to start learning about this business model. And that's what opened our whole eyes to this entire opportunity. And so not even 2 years later, we have been able to achieve a residual extra 6-figure income for ourselves yearly, which has absolutely changed the quality of our family life and our practice life as well. And this picture is near and dear to my heart. This is us, our first family trip in 10 years away from our practice for more than 2 weeks. So this is 3 weeks. We're able to take us, family of 5, go across to Europe, where the kids can meet their great-grandparents for the first time and really, experience a phenomenal family trip. And, with anyone who does have a practice or is busy, you know how difficult it is to step away from our practice because, as Michelle said, unfortunately, the bills and the obligations are still there, even if we're not. So to add this extra cushion of being able to know that you still have an extra income coming in and able to still enjoy life with the ones that are the dearest and closest to your hearts is a pretty amazing thing. And on that note, I'd like to actually introduce to you all my husband, Dr. Paul Beyondich. He's a chiropractor as well, and he formalizes high-end sports nutrition programs for professional and elite athlete from the MLS, the NFL, NHL, from UFC, etc. So, he's been in this area of nutrition for the last, 18 years probably. And, his passion and his look at isogenics originally was the actual products and the uncompromised product quality. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Paul.
Thanks, Michelle, and thanks for everybody for being on this call. So my background is in high-performance sport nutrition. I actually have studied nutritional companies globally, so it's not just our usual products that we use like Metagenics and Soroyal and Thorne and Douglas Labs and all Standard Process, all the usual suspects. But I mean, I've gone beyond that and gone and looked into companies into the UK and Australia, New Zealand, Germany. Basically the world's nutrition supply, because when I get a professional athlete in my office, I have to provide him or her with the best nutrition in the world, literally. And so when I got introduced to isogenics by Dr. Michelle, to be honest with you, I actually didn't want to look at it because I was like, yeah, whatever, never heard of this company, not interested. But when I did look at the product, because everything that Michelle's actually ever recommended to Michelle, to Renata and I, has been 100% on point. I said, fine, you know what? And I looked at it, and I was completely blown away because the Isoline shake was literally the best protein shake in the world that I've ever looked at. And one of the reasons, this is happening is because isogenics pours huge millions of dollars in research. And if we look at the independent research, we find that we compare it to the healthy diet, which is the diet based in the U.S. We have 24 pounds better weight loss, 17% decrease in body fat, 33% decrease in visceral fat, which is obviously the bad fat around the organs, 9% increase in lean muscle mass, and 44% toxin release. What's more interesting, actually, is that Isagenix is, to my knowledge, the first company in the world to prove that their cleanse program actually releases toxins. Now, prior to this, people have been saying, hey, you know what, do cleanses really work? There's no scientific research that says doing a cleanse will, releases toxins, or, there's nothing, statistically valid that's saying that this actually happens. Well, au contraire, because Isagenix has released the first study that says, they've got 4 times more fat loss against the heart-healthy diet, 4 times more increased lean muscle mass, and 2 times more increased metabolism. And really what this debunks in simple terms is that people say, you cannot build muscle and burn fat at the same time. Well, that's clearly not true. Bodybuilders have known this for years, but it's nice that Isagenix has actually produced research that validates this. And again, it's statistically shown that Isagenix cleanse program releases 3 times more toxins. So this is a very, very fun space to be in, because, for our healthcare professionals on the call, you can produce the white paper to your family doctor, to any healthcare practitioner, put it on the table and go, bam, here it is. Double-blinded clinical research that proves that our system cleanse program not only reduces fat, increases lean muscle mass, but actually literally releases toxins. And it comes down to our isoline shake. And I always talk about this a lot, that anybody can lose weight reducing calories, right? But it's what are the calories that counts. Our shakes are nutrient dense and low calories. And not to get into a big story, but there's something called the Twinkie diet, and it's a professor from the U.S. who basically reduces caloric intake, but took 2/3 of his calories from Twinkies. And over a set period of time, guess what happened to him? Yeah, of course he lost weight, but what do you think he looked like? A Twinkie, right? So it's not about just reducing calories; it's about producing nutrient-dense calories. And we go on to our Cleanse for Life product, and this is one of the core products that's supporting the liver in detoxification. It's a synergistic blend of cleansing herbs and botanicals to nourish your body while gently limiting impurities. And whoever who has never done a cleanse program, this is not one of those cleanse systems where you're running to the bathroom every 10 minutes. It's a liver support system. So it's very gentle, very easy, promotes detoxification, supports the liver and immune health. And one of my favorite products, the Ionic Supreme, these are basically adaptogens. And besides a slide, I want to just break in here and just tell you a story. 17, 18 years ago, I was in Chicago going to school, and I heard this word adaptogens, which is, now kind of like a trendy word. But there's this guy by the name of Dr. Ben Tabachnik. He was the strength conditioning coach of the former Soviet Union, and the Russians or the Soviets have been doing research in adaptogens for, I don't know, at least 60 years, and it's basically regulating stress. And we know that whether it's physical, chemical, or emotional stress basically negatively affects everything in our body, from our ability to lose fat, our ability to repair lean muscle. So if you can control cortisol, you can it's a game changer in your life. Forget about a professional athlete, but we're talking about you and I and basically anybody who can control this. And so I was talking to one of the primary owner of Isagenix, Jim Coover, about this story, about how Ben Tabachnik, the strength conditioning coach of the Soviet Union, sent me 200 pages of Russian research converted to English, and I thought it was a big dog 17 years ago. I thought it was cutting edge guy in high performance sport nutrition, and and Jim was saying, hey, he goes, Paul, he goes, Ben and I are friends. Ben and I 17 years ago, we were working on this formula together. So, here I am thinking I'm ahead of the game, ahead of the curve in high performance sport nutrition, and clearly I'm behind the curve, and clearly Isagenix is ahead of the curve. So this is, in short, what I'm trying to tell you guys is that this is a very powerful tool to control stress and control cortisol. And when you control cortisol, your body's ability to lose weight increases, your body's ability to increase immune system, increases the body's ability to go to sleep, recover, repair, energy level. It's probably the most important product in the whole Isagenix line. And of course we've got a multivitamin product called Ageless Essentials with Product B, Isagenesis. Targets the root cause of accelerated aging, provides nutrients, easy to use AM and PM packs. Essentially what it is, it's a multivitamin pack divided into AM and PM. Their CoQ10 is 8 times more absorbable than the standard CoQ10 on the market. We have vitamin C, multivitamin, essential fatty acids, and our telomere support. We'll get to that slide in a second. Our telomere support for anti-aging. And people talk, telomere support in anti-aging is quite trendy right now, and I love this topic because I had a guy come up to me and say, Paul, I hear Isagenix has an anti-aging telomere support product. And I'm like, yeah, we do. And he says, well, we got a better one. And I said, really? I said, no, you don't. And he says, why do you say that? I said, well, it's simple, and I love this about Isagenix. If they're not the world leaders in a particular space, what they do is they just simply go and find out who is the world leader in that area. And so when you talk about telomere support and anti-aging, Dr. Bill Andrews is the world's leader researcher in this area. And so it's very simple. Isagenix just partners with Bill Andrews and John Anderson, the formulator for major formulator for Isagenix, who formulated, by the way, I was in 670. I'll 100% with confidence tell you that we have the best formulations on the planet because we have the best formulator on the planet. There's nobody else in the world who's formulated 2,300 products for 600 companies. It's very simple. It's like having the engineer for Ferrari in your back pocket. And when we put these systems together, the Isagenix Cleanse system, which is really an intermittent fast program. And intermittent fasting has been really trendy and cool, and everybody's like, oh, have you tried intermittent fasting, And it was made popular in 2012 by a UK group that put the research together and wrote a book called The Fast Diet. Well, who cares? Because Isagenix has been doing intermittent fasting for years. So clearly they're way ahead of the curve, and they don't follow anybody. They're not a Me Too company. They are setting the standard in the industry. And when I looked at the whole program that Isagenix offers, the Isagenix 30-day system cleanse program, the intermittent fasting, the proven toxin release system, I said, you know what? I can do this program. I can transform my body with zero cardio. And I said, I'm going to do it. We're going to go 3 times a week, 45 minutes weight training, and in 20 weeks, I went from 24% body fat down to 9% body fat, releasing 32 pounds. And this is with zero cardio, by the way. And this is very reproducible. And why this system works and why I could get the results that you're seeing right now is very simple. One, they're using the highest grade proteins in the world, 100% grass-fed New Zealand whey protein. And why this produces this type of results is because, number one, it's branched chain amino acid content, leucine, isoleucine, and valine. If you want recovery, repair, and growth at its maximum, and we know, guys, listen, can we agree on one thing? That if you want maximum repair, growth, and recovery, then it is your branched chain amino acids that affect this change. So you want a protein that contains the highest percentage of this, and this is found at the highest in the world in where? Only one place, grass-fed New Zealand whey. And one of the reasons why soy-based proteins are ridiculously awful for producing muscle growth is because the major amino acid for stimulating your mTOR pathway for muscle growth is leucine. And the studies have shown that in soy-based protein, leucine gets oxidized or catabolized in the gut prior to reaching the muscle. So it is not favorable for producing lean muscle mass. So and this is another reason why every single high-performance sport nutritionist, Olympic athlete, world champion is looking for grass-fed New Zealand whey protein. And let's face it, we all want these results. Not just world champions, not professional athletes. We want it for ourselves. We want it for our kids. We want it for our family. And the results are not just for men. Obviously, I'm very proud. This is an amazing picture of my wife, Renata. You know, she gave birth to 3 kids naturally, and you know, she wanted her body back. I thought she looked amazing nonetheless, but she wanted her body back and to get a 6-pack. And she went on the same program that I did, except she did even less. She only did 10 minutes of weight training 4 times a week, following the same Isagenix 30-day weight loss cleanse system. And the results are incredible. So whether you're a man, whether you're a female, whether you're old, you're young, it doesn't matter. The results are all the same. And Isagenix offers, we've got weight loss categories, we've got energy and performance categories, healthy aging, and my favorite, wealth creation. And Michelle is going to tell you a little more about the wealth creation category.
Awesome. Thanks, Dr. Paul, for that. It's always great to hear you talk about the products and what they can do and how they can help all of our patients, our friends, family, our children, everything else. And so one thing that's really important is that Isagenix offers so many great things. And the reason why they're offering so many great things is because they are such an amazing company. You can see from this slide that they've won TV awards. They have been in the top 5,000 companies. They're in the top 100 direct selling. And they really are making a difference. I'm just going to pass it off to Dr. Renata. That's going to just really share how you can get started.
So thanks, Michelle, for that. And I hope everyone can hear clearly. I hope the sound quality is okay. With getting started with Isagenix is pretty simple. You know, the way that we all get started is to actually use the products to improve your own health. And from that point on, it's recommending and sharing the products with others, and ideally identifying business partners and potential people who want to do the same and who want to share. And the important difference is what Isagenix actually does for you. And I don't know if any of you have any experience carrying any products into your clinics or offices if you are healthcare practitioners, or even have any previous knowledge of any other systems. I know we've done a different system in the past, you know, we didn't have all of these things that Isagenix really does for us. And the most important thing is that they have the expert research team that do develop all the products and continually add in new products to help educate, to help motivate. They obviously do all the inventory and distribution, which is a huge, huge deal for all of us, frankly. We used to carry a lot of other products, another kind of program in particular, and for us to get started alone, it was $5,000 of carrying product and inventory on our shelves that, you know, sometimes seemed to disappear or that expired, you know, and we're stressed out to move that product before the expiry date because we put a lot of money into it. So, you know, there's no more product carrying inventory or distribution. It is personally delivered to anyone wherever they want to at their front doorstep if they wish. And you know, obviously, the company takes care of all the accountability, all the accounting, all the transactions with respect to fees and purchasing of the products. So to get started with Isagenix, it only costs $29 a year, and with this $29 a year membership, it actually allows any of us access to any of their products at wholesale prices for the next 12 months. And with that, you actually get your own personalized Isagenix website, and you have access to all their mobile tools. And actually, right this week, Isagenix is offering a promotion, which they rarely do, and it's until this Sunday, just to let you know of it, is that they're actually waiving this $29 membership fee for anyone who does get started on a qualifying pack. So that's great, something to look into for anyone who was referred to this webinar. Make sure you connect with the person who sent you to this webinar so you can learn more about that. So we all have the opportunity, and this is what's great about Isagenix. And I'm very excited about this aspect, is we all have the opportunity to have all our products paid for monthly. So if people see value in their products, which you obviously want and want to experience and want to see the value, and if I'm sure you see a little more value, especially from hearing some of the explanations from Dr. Paul, but ideally to get your products paid for or free every month, more or less, is to share the products with 2 people, and them in return sharing it with another 2 people. And what this is called, this is the whole basis and the compensation plan of Isagenix. It's the plan of you plus 2 and them plus 2. So it is based just on this simple model of binary system. And I know Michelle loves numbers, so she's going to take over the next slide, showing you a little more detailed of the U plus 2 system.
Awesome. Thanks, Dr. Renata. So you can see here from the slide here that's showing the power of 2. And when you're looking at this slide, you can see that there's a left side and a right side, and it's really about building the 2 people. And why I love this system is it's really about how Dr. Renata shared. It's really you plus 2, them plus 2. And here's the thing. You're getting paid 6% on everything that happens below you. And at first you might think, well, 6%, that doesn't really seem like that much. I might be getting supplements that they actually mark up 30% or 50%. But here's the thing. It's 6% you're making off anybody who comes into your office. But you're making 30 to 50% off people coming to your office, but you're making 6% off everybody outside of your office on everything that happens below you. And what's so amazing is if you share it with 2 people, who share it with 2 people, who share it with 2 people, and that keeps going down 13 levels. What's amazing about it is you actually max out your business center, and that's over $700,000 a year in residual income, and all you did is share it with 2 people. And let's just take a simple example. If you are billing $10,000 in your business, then we have overhead. So it might be $5,000 in overhead that takes place. And when we're looking at that overhead, we have to pay, the front desk. We have to pay the your rent. You have to pay the insurance. You have to pay inventory. You have to pay all these different things. And when you look at Isagenix, if you bill $10,000, you actually only have an overhead of $200. It only costs you $200 to stay active with the company. And so if you make $10,000 with Isagenix, you actually are going to take home $9,800. So you can see how you're really leveraging your time and you're really exponentially growing and taking advantage of your network. And that's why I really think this is amazing. It's really that power of 2 and how it grows. It's 2 people sharing it with 2 people. Now you have 4 people added to your team, then 8, 16, 32, 64. And you can see how it really starts to exponentially grow. And that's what's really so exciting, is it's leveraging off who you know, who they know, and really helping to serve people. And it's really fosters this team approach because you're not alone. You're really building as a team. And that's what's so exciting, is sometimes as healthcare professionals, we're kind of off on our own. I'm at my clinic by myself, maybe you're at your clinic by yourself, and we're not really talking much or integrating things. It's you're down the street, I'm down the street. But with this, we're really working together to really help each other be successful. And so as you can see, when you share it with 2 people who share it with 2 people, that's really $27,000 a week or over $700,000 a year. And that's each year. That becomes passive income and residual. And at the beginning, Dr. Renata alluded to this, at the beginning, she was kind of hesitant to get into another business or to get into network marketing, and I was the same. And it's really about shifting and looking at a different model of business. This model has no traditional selling. There's no boss. There's no inventory, as Dr. Renata alluded to. We don't have this inventory that we need to carry in our office. There's no deliveries to have to wait for. It goes right to the person's house. There's no employees to manage, which is exciting. There's no shows, there's no schedule, no overhead. And the schedule is really important. It's about being flexible. I have 4 children. I still have a busy chiropractic practice. I have an online business, and I've been able to build this really in the pockets of my time. And that's what's so exciting. It's also, aligning myself with the mission that Isagenix has, which is, really about freeing people from physical and financial pain. The exciting thing for you all, the healthcare professionals on here, is that, Dr. Renata and I have been able to create that 6-figure income, and now we have systems and tools to help you do the same. So this isn't a make work project. This isn't a whole, now I got to do all these different things. We have the systems and the tools. We have the paperwork for the office. We have the PowerPoint presentations. We have the stuff you need to be successful, and the systems and the ways we've done it. And so we can really help you be successful as well. And that's what this is really all about, being successful, serving people, and really creating your dream life. What do you really want to be known as? And this is where you have that opportunity, because it's global. So it's, in the United States, Puerto Rico, excuse me, Australia, New Zealand, Hong Kong, Mexico, Singapore, and it's still expanding. And so we can really make a difference globally as we all unify together. Now is the time. You could see Isagenix is in momentum. It is in exponential growth. Look at the year 2012 to 2014, how it's just exponentially grown. And this year they're on pace to do over $1 billion. And that's this chart just going up and up and up. So, you may have heard of Isagenix. You may think, oh, lots of people have heard about it. But the truth is there's only 450,000 people using it worldwide. I mean, there's more than 450,000 people in the city of Toronto, never mind all the countries that we're in. So has Isagenix been tapped out? Absolutely not. We're in momentum. We're still in all this amazing, amazing growth. So, really we wanted to do this webinar because Dr. Renata and I are really on a mission to help healthcare professionals really to live the life that they want, to be able to have the financial freedom to practice as they want to instead of practicing how they have to. And for us, this has been a great way to serve our patients. We all know that we have modalities, whether you're a physiotherapist, an OT, chiropractor, massage therapist, nurse practitioner, the different healthcare professionals that are on this webinar today. We know we have modalities to help with the physical and the emotional stress that comes into the body, but what about the chemical stress? That's where we can really make a difference with Isagenix. We can really manage this chemical stress. And when we do that, we're going to see improvements in their physical and emotional. And that's really where we can serve our patients long term and really make a huge impact. So we really encourage you to connect with the person who invited you on this webinar today. Dr. Renata and I are dedicated to following up with everybody on the webinar, really helping to answer any questions. Naturally, everybody on this call has a different setup in their office and needs to have the specifics worked out for their own office and clinic and goals. And obviously, you do have more questions and are going to want further information, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to give you the information to see if this is a good fit for you, and then we're looking to partner with a few people to really help you achieve those goals. So please make sure to connect with the person who invited you on this webinar. As Dr. Renata mentioned, this week is an exciting week because we actually have free enrollment on a certain pack, so it's a great time to get started. And with that, I want to thank you again for all coming on to this webinar. We really look forward to connecting with all of you afterwards, and have a great evening, and we look to talk to you all soon.